And yes, again, we're back. Top of the morning on this good Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Men marry who they want. Women marry who they can. See, again, I'm still seeing a lot of content. I see a lot of the posts. I'm going to tell you what, as I stated before, I did a video about this a while ago about the conditional submissiveness from a woman, conditional femininity. It appears that tagline is trending and being shared by a lot of women that I've seen. Again, you can have that mindset, of course, whatever works, whatever you think works for you. But as I, again, see the playbacks, listen to the conversation, you can pretty much tell that these women are going to grow old and single. And again, it's no skin off my back. The world will simply adapt to the new dating dynamics. But for the women who catches my videos here and there, or who secretly watches them, this is a cautionary tale for you and for the men as well, because they need to know what power they have and what stake they have in these scenarios. See, women have all of this access to attention, sex. You can get a man to sleep with you without doing absolutely nothing. That's why you don't get any stripes from being a hoe. I see women again on Fresh and Fit's podcast talking about my body count shouldn't matter, or why does a man get to do it and I don't get to do it? Bitch, this conversation alone shows the intellectual disparity between the two. You have women who try to equate them having a lot of men sexually to a man having a lot of women. That is not normal for a man to get a lot of women. It is somewhat difficult, depending on what type of man you are, depending on what area you're in. It can be difficult to get women. So that is why the man who gets the women are respected or admired to a degree of other men who may have the desires of the women they may see him with. But her desire, this is the tricky part, her desire for you influences her behavior. See, we think, well, she's just toxic, which could be, toxic is the new replacement word for bipolar. A lot of women secretly suffer from bipolar disorder, which is, again, another secret substitute term for the soul ties going crazy inside of her. You really won't see any virgins or women with a low sexual resume, or a minimal sexual resume, that has the toxic characteristics of a woman who does not have a low-key sexual resume, who has a healthy and fulfilled sexual resume. She's going to be a lot more toxic because she has the different personalities running inside of her. She was attracted to toxic, so therefore she becomes it. See, women think they go into these scenarios. You think you go into relationships and you just get out scot-free because you get to bouncing on a new dick. You take parts, depending on how long, bigger parts of the last person you were with to your new person. So now that X is added on to the personality jar, because before you got there, it was someone before you who was getting the same treatment, and so on and so on. She may have met that one guy who she admired and gave her best behavior to, but again, a lot of women give the best part of them to men who are not available, i.e. married, with a woman, and they play like they didn't know and they just found out on some random crazy shit. You know how it goes. But her desire, which I spoke about, a woman having a natural burning desire for you, She is not going to behave in any manner that could sabotage the relationship. Now, if she sees you as just something to do, a spot filler, a place filler, a void filler, because a lot of women, that's why they get pets, they get these bags, they do retail therapy. All you have to do is listen. Women tell on themselves. So if they need these things, that is simply a distraction from the reality in which they've created. So her desire, if she's disrespectful or rebellious, she really is not looking at you through a lens of desire. She does not fear losing you, because if she did, she would not jeopardize it with her behavior that could cause you to walk away, especially if you have conveyed such a message. But due to the digitized boyfriend, social media, and other outlets alike, women feel they have an unlimited resource of suitors. And they have these small talk. They have the small conversations, which really don't mean a lot. And they do that to make sure that the temperature is where it needs to be, just in case you're tagged to be it. The guys will get excited. Okay, she's giving me flavor. She's coming around. No, you're just next on the docket. So you see these women, they get older and older and older, and they believe that they're getting finer because they're stuck in a time warp in which they got the most attention. So they know how to continue getting that attention on social media. They know how to fish. Why do you think women post certain pictures, certain posts on social media? You think it's because they're bored? That is a fishing net. She's going fishing. That is a fishing net to make sure the attention is corralled in my inbox, under my comments. Hold on, I'm here. Hey, look at me. I spoke about this when they got to doing the TikTok dances and all the challenges and shit. You can't see a motherfucker on here walking down the street, but the pandemic season, oh, you dancing machine? A motherfucking dancing machine. You couldn't stop her from dancing. You got to tell them, hey, take a break. This motherfucker on her 8th dance, and it's just 2:00 in the afternoon. Making sure she show you that pussy print with them little shorts on. We know all the tricks, man. But she thinks she has unlimited resources. Therefore, she looks at men as disposable. Because let's look at a racial comparison. You'll take the Mexican who, and no disrespect to the Mexican, who may work in the kitchen at a local restaurant, co-partnering, but they're still working. They may have a lawn business. They may work, warehouse. They may work low-level jobs, and they get the utmost respect from their women. Meanwhile, you as a black man have to be Superman, and if, let's say, they decided to swirl, you see the white men who they choose to divest with, they're the most basic, the most plain looking, no swag, no abs. He's not tall. He's just your basic white guy. And because he's white makes him better. And he may have some money for financial stability. See, what our women especially do not understand, that white men do not really indulge in decadence a lot. This is why they continuously keep a financial advantage over most of the people in the country outside of the Asian community. Asians are definitely not partakers in indulgence or decadence, meaning buying material shit. You don't see a lot of Asians line up to buy the J's. You don't really see a lot of Asians buying the newest Brahmin every weekend. You don't really run into them unless you are patronizing their business. They stay out of the way because they know what's going on and what makes sense. So black women get with these white guys thinking they're going to be saved from the black men who no longer wanted them or were willing to commit to them. They think it's going to be green on the other side, meaning she's going to get a provider and he's going to cater to her because He could have had a white woman in her eyes, but he chose a black woman. That means he has double or triple the resources for me. This is why they can go and get the most blandest white guy, and you have to be a action figure model black guy. There's a lot of psychological warfare that's been done that is going to be a very slow process to undo. We won't see it in our generation, that's for sure. It is only going to get worse. It is crashing against the wall. But as a man, if you decide that you want to get married, you want to build a family, you must build yourself first. Because you would be the example of having the ability to build something of prestige. You did it for yourself with no teaching, or if you had teaching, that's fine. But it's a lot of cases you will have to be self-taught. See, people take these courses and look at these classes. In a blueprint of your vision, no one can give you the know-how to build your vision because they cannot see it in the manner in which you do. But what they can give you is some of the characteristics, the behaviors to exhibit to increase the probability that it will come true. And that's usually going to be discipline, certain areas of knowledge depending on your field, certain, again, courses, networking techniques, networking events, networking areas that your industry is saturated. You go into the areas that have the top of the top, and then you can seek out other areas that are lacking that presence, and you go and open up shop there. When I travel, I make sure that I try to network with business owners, because advertising and marketing is key in today's time. Most people do not print. They put it on the internet because of the social media engagement being through the roof. It's 24 hours. It does not sleep. So when you move around, you can kind of analyze the market and you can see what their stuff looks like. You go in, you look at menus, you're looking at flyers, you're looking at things they have posted, and you can compare them to your work. This is no different than the dating market. Men look at the markets. They say, where the women like it? Here. We travel. We just don't travel just to say we went. We go and scout. So as a man, if you're looking to marry, create a family, you must create yourself in the best image in which your family will already have a standard to uphold or live to. Because they're going to come in and see that it's a lot of discipline, it's a lot of structure, especially the women. One thing I made, some of the mistakes I made in my past is spending too much time with women, giving them too much input, too much candid conversation when it comes to future, what you have going on. It should be visible. Because one thing women do not like is a talker. You can't talk your way into certain. You can talk her panties off in some cases, sure, but if you're looking to marry and have a woman who will respect you, you must lead with an iron fist. You cannot bend. You cannot break. You must be very sturdy. Because if she senses any shakiness in you, she's going to get it out of you. She's going to sense it, and now she needs to see it. She's going to test you, and if you fold, I got a simp. He's weak. Yeah, I'm about to start having my way. I'm starting looking for the exit. Hypergamy is activated. But her desire for you will influence and dictate how she behaves. If she doesn't behave in a favorable manner or a desirable manner for you, that means her desire for you is no longer there, or it never was there and she was simply fronting. But you guys, let me know what you think about this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Date Master.